New Orleans is best known for its food and festivities. People come from all over the country to enjoy the rich culture of the Big Easy. But just an hour away is a small town that some people believe is hiding a deep, dark secret. Located in Slidell, Louisiana, is an area called the Honey Island Swamp. Now, it's approximately 250 square miles and is home to all kinds of wildlife. But people that make a living there and hunt in its woods say there's something else lurking in the muddy waters of the Honey Island Swamp.
It walks upright. The shoulders are rounded off, square in the back. The face doesn't have hair on it in the cheeks or the forehead or around the nose. Down part of the chin, it's just skin, no hair. Like I said, they say it's fast, elusive, moves fast, gets out of the way fast.
What I saw scared the life out of me. I was face to face with, I didn't know if it was man or beast, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I'd never seen anything like this before in my life. It had a head and a face like a man and a body like an animal.
The legend of the Honey Island Swamp Monster dates back to 1963. A pair of wild game hunters claimed that they encountered a huge and unusual creature in the woods. 10 years later, one of the men, Harlan Ford, said that he found gigantic footprints in the mud. Believing that they came from the elusive creature, he made a plaster cast of the tracks as proof. Now, this was the first documentation of the mysterious creature, and with that, the legend of the Honey Island Swamp Monster was born.
My grandfather said what he remembered most was the big amber color eyes. He said it stood upright and it had the long arms, but it was very hairy, long, dingy hair, like a grayish. Sometimes they say it's like a gray, muddy look. Then some people have said it had a reddish tint to it. And my grandfather poured the first plaster castings that were studied by cryptozoologists.
Ford's granddaughter, Dana Holyfield, and her husband, Terrell Evans, live right next to the swamp and say people are always contacting them with their own harrowing experiences with the Honey Island Swamp Monster. Last year, Dana decided to make her own documentary, The Legend of the Honey Island Swamp Monster. The film examines the evidence of eyewitness reports from people that claim that they have encountered this mysterious creature.
I felt like something was looking at me. You ever get that feeling of where something's staring at you? See, a bear is more like round in his back, and this thing had like a flat back with the shoulders. And that's when I knew it wasn't a bear. But once I seen that, I knew it was time to change my mind about whatever I had plans anyway.
My first instinct maybe it was a deer or something, but it didn't look right. Well, it actually, when it come across the canal, it actually looked like it was walking across the bottom of the canal, you know? Well, it got up on the other side and just kind of shook its hair off. It looked like kind of like a person, and it went on across.
But the most compelling evidence was yet to come. The footage you are seeing right now was shot by Dana's grandfather on Super 8 movie reel film. She discovered the footage while filming her documentary. Her grandmother claims it was shot in the late 1970s. Now, if you look closely, there appears to be a hairy, Bigfoot-like creature walking amongst the trees.
He was in a tree blind, and there's something that crosses through the swamp on foot, but you could tell it's not human, it's hairy.
While making her documentary, Dana and her husband discovered fresh tracks in the woods.
This track was a more recent track we found in the Peach Lake area when a hunter had been out there, a fisherman called Terrell and told us that they had found some tracks. These are the three-toed, and this is a little fourth thing on the side. But they look a little webbed, like it could possibly swim. A cryptozoologist that examined them, Lloyd Pye, said, but by the shape of it, he thought it could climb.
Dana's father, Dan Holyfield, says that he also came face to face with the Honey Island Swamp Monster back in the late 1980s. One night after returning home from a turkey hunting trip, Dan says that he hit something with his boat. At first, he thought it was simply a log, but after shining his light in the water, he discovered it was something else.
I was so confused. I thought, I done run over somebody and hurt it. When it stood up, it looked like a human being, and it looked like it had an overcoat or something on, or some kind of coat,
And many more claim to have had a run-in with the monster.
I believe in this thing, but it's elusive. You know, it wasn't in the swamp. I'm 51 years old. I've heard it probably a half a dozen times total. Seen tracks 24 times that are similar, you know, tracks that are believable, that you can't fake.
Everybody looks for the monster. It's not a monster. And if it was, it'd probably be easier to track. So, if it's more man than what we think it is.
But still, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics say that until the mystery creature is captured, the truth will never be known.
Let me track you in here about 1.5 miles and build you a little fire. I'll give you, leave you with some Vienna sausage and some Snicker bars. And I'll come back and get you tomorrow morning. Then tell me how skeptical you are.